Welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom. In a nail-biting climax to the Asia Cup 2025, India clinched our 9th title yesterday, defeating Pakistan by 5 wickets in Dubai. Chasing 147, Tilak Verma's unbeaten 69 steered our men in blue home in 19.04 overs. This was, however, a tense thriller, perhaps overshadowed by geopolitical tensions. The real drama unfolded off-field. Captain Surya Kumar Yadav dedicated the win to the armed forces and announced that he'd donate his entire match fees for the entire tournament, that's about 28 lakhs, from 7 games to the Indian Army and the victims of the Pahalgam terror attack. Pakistan skipper Salman Agha fired back, calling India's conduct, refusing handshakes at the toss and post-match, as disrespecting cricket. He pledged his fees to those killed in Operation Sindoor while tossing away his runners-up cheque. Many in India point out that many of those killed in Operation Sindoor were terrorists. On the field, reactions were raw, no post-match handshakes and a delayed Pakistani return for presentations. In India, this has ignited a fierce political debate. Opposition leaders hail Surya's gesture as patriotic solidarity, while critics decry it as politicizing sport, urging the cricket board a boycott of Pakistani cricket ties. Some say cricket unites, politics divides. On the show tonight, politics and play, the Asia Cup. Is this all tricky terrain for our cricketers? But as we start that, I think it's important to point out that there is precedent for India-Pakistan cricket to have really suffered as a result of political tensions. And the question about whether India and Pakistan can continue to play in this manner does need to be raised. Shiv Sena workers dug up the Wankhede pitch in 1991. The match and the series was cancelled at that stage. In 1999, as a result of the Kargil war, a scheduled India tour of Pakistan was cancelled. The next incident took place in 2008. In fact, bilateral cricket ties were suspended after Kargil for 5 years. In 2008, 26/11, one of the worst terror attacks that we've seen in India's history, right? Bilateral cricket was impacted. A planned one-day international series was cancelled. India, of course, stopped touring Pakistan at that stage as well. And then, of course, now 2025, the Pahalgam terror attack in which 26 innocents lost their lives, the effect. No handshake with the Pakistani cricket team. That's certainly one that took place. And no to prize distribution by the Pakistani cricket board chairperson. We said absolutely no to that. Also, the man happens to be the Interior Minister of Pakistan. But let's take a look at what India's captain Surya Kumar Yadav had to say.
नहीं देखिए, वो मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में जब चल के आ रहा था तो मैंने सोचा ऐसा कि इतने भारतीय हैं हम लोग, कुछ छोटा चीज तो हम लोग सपोर्ट कर ही सकते हैं अपने तरफ से। अगर कुछ अगर धीरे धीरे करके सब लोग हेल्प कर दें तो अच्छा ही हो जाएगा। तो वो मेरे मन से निकली हुई बात थी। मैं एक्चुअली पूरी लाइन कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाया उस टाइम। आर्म्ड फोर्सेस एंड विक्टिम्स ऑफ पहलगाम बोलना था, बट उसमें सब इतना फटाफट चल रहा था कि उतने अफरा तफरी में कुछ ज्यादा बोल नहीं पाया मैं। बट वो मेरी तरफ से जो मैं कर सकता हूँ उतना तो मैं कर ही सकता हूँ।
Well, there were all sorts of jibes and signals and people, cricketers poking fun at others. Some say that this is a natural reaction given the tensions that we've seen and in the context of Pahalgam which has taken place. Others say that cricketers shouldn't be involved in what are political statements in a sense, and that the sport needs to be separated from politics. Now, this is what Arshdeep Singh said. Some suggested that he was mimicking or mocking some Pakistani cricketers in the way they spoke. We leave that for you to decide, but this is what he put up on Instagram.
Final match you perform, what happening?
Nothing happening, there is no one to tell, ground is empty.
Final match you perform, what happening?
Lot of happening, winning, celebration and lot of
Full tournament you perform, what happening? Full tournament you perform, what happening?
What happening?
Yeah?
Happening good.
Full tournament you perform, what happening?
Final match, what happening? Final match,
Full tournament you perform, what happening?
good happening. Final match, sometime bad happening.
All right, well, joining us now, Ayaz Memem, the senior sports journalist, Sham Sharma, director of the Delhi and District Cricket Association. I'm also joined by Nikhil Jain. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us. Ayaz, let me come to you first. I mean, there are obviously passions. One understands that completely. And it's the cricket board, based on instructions from the government, which has asked these cricketers to play, and so they've played. So one accepts all of that. But are you comfortable with our cricketers sort of countering the Pakistanis by gesticulating on their own, mimicking and making fun and doing all sorts of things on Instagram? Do you believe that, these acts, this behavior, could perhaps have been avoided?
Well, I personally think so, because I think this was a tournament, there was a lot of debate whether India should go and participate or not. Finally, they decided to go and play there. And then after that, to have this, it's just become a center of theatrics from both sides. So, what I feel personally now, Vishnu, is that, this Asia Cup might be the last we've seen. And we are heading into a stage where Indo-Pak cricket ties might reach a stage of no return. And I'm putting this in context because a couple of months from now, there is the T20 World Cup to be played in India, and there will be a match featuring India and Pakistan. And what happens now from here is anybody's guess. But I just think that the focus has just completely taken away from the cricket, and everything else that has nothing to do with cricket has assumed, has become, kind of center of attraction.
Need to be kept away from politics, or do you believe that you can't separate the two? These cricketers live in a particular context. That context, in the case of India and Pakistan, unfortunately happens to include terrorism.
No, I don't think that politics.
One second, that question for Sham Sharma, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, what was the question again? Could you say?
No, I just asked whether it's possible to keep cricket and politics separated in the present context.
Cricket and politics were always like separate things. But like after 99 war also, Kargil war also, we went to Pakistan in 2004. That was for Aman Ki Asha. And we thought that they will mend their ways. But in whatever happened in 2008, then it's not only politics, it's the sentiment of the people also. Cricketers are also like a human being. We are also a human being. And we have not started it. In fact, the Pakistani, the three-hat person basically, ACC chairman also, Pakistan cricket chairman also, and he was also the internal minister. So he has started all this thing. So our players only retaliate basically.
Right. Let me go across to Atul Vasan, the former India cricket star who joins us. Atul, I know the context. The context is Pahalgam, of course. We've seen the hand gestures being made by Pakistan's cricketers. Do you believe that India's cricketers were justified in the way that they responded? Not just in terms of not accepting the trophy, but also in gesticulating the manner in which they did. Do you believe that that was also okay?
First of all, I must say that you have to raise your threshold for propriety. I'm amazed at the kind of bafflement we are facing by what has happened. I think this was expected, and there's a line of sand. How far do you go back? One gentleman going 2008, somebody's going to Pahalgam, Pulwama. So we can go back to 48 because I lost few right. of my family members. So where do you draw the line? I think push has come to shove. Because if we keep on going back in time, then we can always find a point where we can justify whatever we think. And in Pakistan's narrative, I think what we expected, and I think it was a circus of the absurd. I was enjoying it actually because they were actually cutting their nose to spite their face, and they actually played into our hands. But what we did to validate and just to retaliate with the way, I thought we should have been just much bigger than that and let them have this, because eventually what has happened? We have won, we are doing well. They have to pay the whole world. They can't even service their loans. They've got everything going wrong. But this is the pipe dream which has been sold to them. So I feel sorry for them. And when you have these interior ministers and their top management like this joker, Mr. Naqvi, who actually was our 12th man. He helped us win the match because he created that kind of chaos and kind of that, hawa, because the players couldn't play. But at the same time, I would compliment the players that they came up to the situation. They didn't have that gumption. They didn't have that, last second wind to actually go across the line, because they had the match, but they always had this thing, they might lose. Once you have that, We always knew that we will come back because our system, our process is much better. We are thriving, and they're just jealous cousins because they want to catch up. And this cricket and Kashmir is the only thing that is keeping them happy in spite of all the problems in their life.
RP Singh, where does that leave India-Pakistan cricket ties going forward? You know, there'll be several World Cups which come up. Unfortunately, terrorism isn't ending. And India is committed to ensuring that if there are terrorist strikes, there may be more Operation Sindoors. In fact, Operation Sindoor hasn't ended. So therefore, where does that leave cricket between India and Pakistan? Or is this the new normal where we see cricketers express themselves in the way that we've seen?
But why are you so apologetic about cricketers? I mean, I don't understand why this, we are distressed about cricketers. I mean, they are also human beings. They are also Indian. They also have seen what's happened and how did Pakistani treated our women? How did they treat our men? How did they kill over 26 people? They have seen all that. And then playing cricket is a compulsion because of the multinational game, but it doesn't mean that, and then it's not a bilateral again, and it doesn't mean that that they can't express themselves. And then if especially if Pakistani players, the way they behave and the way their manager or the way their 12th man, as said by Wasan, behave, so they have all the right to revert back, and there's nothing wrong in it. But again, what's happening is that we are trying to draw politics into cricket, and although cricket is a game of gentlemen, cricket is a game of people who play to expand send their message of game, not the politics. But if the other team, especially with Pak Interior Minister doing what he did, even with the earlier match where he refused to play for almost for 1 hour with UAE also, although later on he played and won the match. But I mean, what he's doing now, he took away the trophy. I mean, he's all doing it so to cover up what he did earlier. I mean, it's just a cover up for what he did earlier. But again, my friend from Congress, Nikhil, is here. It's very sad they are trying to bring politics into it.
Okay, let's get a response. Nikhil Jain, the political analyst, joins us. Nikhil, let me come across to you.
Give me a second.
Sir, can I just get the other panelists also in on this?
Another 3 seconds, sir. By that day, I want to finish. Victory in cricket should be celebrated by all. It's not that we should sulk that India has won. I mean, there's a party who's sulking. That why India has won the match. Why India has won Operation Sindoor. Why did India shut their terrorist bases? So let's be clear. I mean, that's not fair. I mean
okay,
that's not
Nikhil,
fair
come in on that. I think the point that RP Singh makes is that these cricketers are human beings. They live in a particular context and they express themselves. My question to RP Singh was, where does that leave India-Pakistan cricket going forward? Because there'll be more multinational tournaments which do take place, multinational tournaments which do take place. How would you answer that? Are we okay with this being the new normal?
There'll be no bilateral with Pakistan. There'll be no bilateral with Pakistan.
So I'm asking Nikhil Jain that question. I'm asking in the context of multinational tournaments. Yeah, Nikhil, go ahead.
Vishnu, first of all, let me correct Mr. RP Singh. Nobody is sulking at India's victory. Everybody is celebrating it. It's just that we have to realize that at the end of the day, it is a cricket match. And it is not something that is more important than the floods in Assam or the floods in Punjab or the floods in Bihar or the allegations of voter manipulation and electoral manipulation. And for the BJP to go around saying that the Congress is not celebrating this win, I think that is juvenile to say the least. A little while earlier in the debate, you did ask, is it possible to separate cricket and politics? And it's rather unfortunate that whether it's the men in uniform or the men in jerseys, right now it seems like the government wants everybody to just create a spectacle so that it can toot its own horn or so that they can deviate from the more important topics. Instead of talking about things that really matter, we're talking about the fact that whether the Congress party wished the Indian team on their victory or not. That I don't think is the right discussion to have. And when you ask about the point that where does it, what lies in the future in terms of multilateral tournaments between India and Pakistan, I think the government has answered it very clearly. They may, in their political rallies, go around and say that water and blood can't flow together. We're going to stop. We have suspended the Indus Water Treaty. We're not going to send water to Pakistan because they're, engaging in terror on our soil. Very well, but apparently the government can let blood and money flow together, because we all know that Pakistan made hundreds of crores playing this match, as
No,
in
it did
India.
not.
But that should not be the case. That should not be the case. We need to send out a strong message to the entire international community that when there is a country that is essentially acting like a terror state, that is spreading terror on our soil, that is indoctrinating youths on
Please
their own
wake up
land
and
as well
smell the
as in
coffee.
our land, we will do whatever is in our power to ostracize that country, to take them out of the international fold. But that is not what is being done. What is being done is that one thing is said in a political rally and an entirely different thing is done when the government's actions are concerned. So I think the answer of the government is clear. We are going to play, and we are going to have our cricketers behave in a manner that the government can somehow use to target the opposition or to say that Prime Minister Modi has
All right, Nikhil, hold on.
And lastly, just 10 seconds. I feel that the tweet of the Prime Minister saying that Operation Sindoor has won on the battlefield, I think it trivializes and it sort of mocks this severity and the seriousness of military conflicts, of war, of terrorism. For heaven's sake, you cannot be comparing war and terrorism with a cricket match, football match.
All right, Atul, you want to respond to that?
About that, please.
RP Singh, after Atul, I'll come to you.
The last bit, I totally agree with it, because they actually brought us down to their level by just this tweet. We have validated their whole narrative, and I think we are bigger than this. Even the players might have been forced to show these optics and all, and I think they should have let the rhetoric for them insult them, and we should have been just bigger than this, because we are actually. But in Pakistan, if you ask somebody how you feeling today, he said, I've got a nuclear bomb. So I think if you fight with hippopotamus in the mud, you're not going to win, and he's enjoying it. And by this, you're validating him. So just stick away and do the moral high ground and let them enjoy this, because even if I don't sit on the mare and get my Sahara, I still got married. I don't need this trophy to validate me, because I thank God this match was televised live. Otherwise, we would have been told, and the context would have been in Pakistan, that we never won this game. So let it be. Let the sleeping dogs lie. We are carrying on.
All right. So we need to get on with our lives. Atul, I take that point.
He's smiling in this picture, and I think when a man is smiling in a disaster, he's found somebody else to blame for it.
Okay, RP Singh, go ahead, sir, before I go back to Ayaz and Sham Sharma. Yeah.
Well, I'll read what Mohsin Naqvi, their interior minister, has written on this comment by the Prime Minister. He says, if war was your measure of pride, history already records your humiliating defeats at Pakistan hands. This is what exactly Congress also says, that we have not won the war. I mean, where are the proof for the surgical strike? Where are the proof for the Balakot? Or why did you conduct Operation Sindoor? I mean, they have been saying the same, and also dragging war into sports also exposes desperation and disgrace the very spirit of the game. I mean, that's what Congress is doing. They are not. I mean, Rahul Gandhi tweets on each and everything. Even at the fall of a hat or pin, he tweets. But here he never bothered. And as far as cricket goes, let me remind him. My friend Nikhil, ODI Chennai 30th December 2012 with Pakistan, bilateral, after 26/11. It was the Congress rule, UPA rule. Second ODI Kolkata 3rd January 2013, again Congress rule. ODI, third ODI, this was in Ahmedabad, December 6th, 2013. So, this was the state of the affair. I mean, they kept playing cricket. I mean, they didn't allow the Air Force chief to do the surgical. Mr. Chidambaram is on record today that after he took over the Home Minister, he requested the Congress leadership, which means Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, to attack, give back on 26/11, which he was refused. So this is clearly shows their soft corner, or their the way they have handled the Pakistan, or the way Yasin Malik was invited and was told to build up relationship with.
I think that those are a couple of important points. Just 30 seconds. Would you like to respond to that, Nikhil, before I go to Ayaz? Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. So first of all, the Congress party is not going around asking proof for every military operation. What the Congress party and most leaders in the opposition object to is the politicization of surgical strikes, is to say that no surgical strikes were ever done before, despite the fact being an absolute lie. 2011 Operation Sindoor was the most noted surgical strike that was done across the LOC. Secondly, what the Congress talks about...
You have no evidence. Don't spread lie. Don't use TV channel like NDTV to spread lies.
RP sir, it is well reported. Operation Sindoor 2011...
You are a learned person. You are a learned lawyer.
RP sir, I know, and that is why I speak with facts. I was not interjecting. Secondly, I speak with facts.
Did Mr. Manmohan Singh
point out to the fact that we did carry out Operation Sindoor in 11. Let's not sully the valor and honor of our
please,
forces.
I'll
They carried
appreciate.
out that
I'll
operation. I
appreciate.
am not going to
Please
say Dr.
put
Singh did
that
it,
on
Sonia
record.
Gandhi did it, Rahul Gandhi
Let
did
the
it.
army
Our
generals put that
forces
on
did
record.
that.
All right, let me
Sir,
just
you
quickly,
also
one second. I
know
don't
how
want
covert
this to be a
operations are
tutu
carried
meme
out.
on surgical
Sir,
strikes.
you know
We're
how
discussing
covert
cricket
operations are
today.
carried out. This is the
Hold on,
difference. That
hold
when
on.
you breach
Let
international
me,
law, you don't put it on record, but you know what. If the world knows what we did, unlike
sir,
this government, that you're breaching
right. And
international
I
law,
don't want
and
to,
you're
I don't want to
putting
coach all of
on.
you on military
You're going
history on
around
this
and telling the
program.
world about
I
it.
want to go back to Ayaz. Ayaz, what I want to actually ask, one sec,
On the
sir.
cricket point, Vishnu, on the cricket point, can I just
No,
respond to the point
I'm
that
sorry you've
Mr.
been
RP made?
interrupted, but I must go to Ayaz. He's had less time. I want to go back to Ayaz. Ayaz, my question is this. I personally find it deeply offensive that this minister, this man called Naqvi, walks away with the trophy. I mean, the fact of the matter is that India won the match, this man won the trophy. I mean, I found that part to be absolutely bizarre. He walks off with the trophy because people refuse to take it from him. What does that say about this man?
They want to melt the metal and make more medals.
It's the most bizarre thing that one has seen.
One sec. Ayaz Memam, that question is to Ayaz, please. Ayaz, 30 seconds.
I think it's the most bizarre, scene I've seen on a cricket field, perhaps in all sporting, sports that I've covered and watched. My point is that he's actually in the chair of the Asian Cricket Council. This tournament is supposed to be, he's the host. And therefore, if there was, and the way the drama had evolved and developed, the surround sound around the matches, if you anticipate any problems, then it is your job to address it. Now, if you are also getting involved in a sort of a nefarious way, tweeting out things and saying all kinds of things, then you are asking also for some kind of trouble. So
right.
I think that this whole issue about whether the trophy should be given by him, whether it will be accepted or not, it was not some state secret. It was
all right. No, I do believe you raise a lot of important points. I'm only interrupting you now because I'm out of time. But I do believe that the larger issue of India-Pakistan cricket, not bilateral, but in multilateral, multinational context, needs to be looked at. Because if these are the tensions which exist outside the cricket itself, it brings our cricketers to a pretty dangerous realm where they do express themselves politically. That's not what they're trained to do or they're skilled at doing. They're skilled at playing cricket. And I think a lot of cricket lovers would like to see them do just that, play cricket. I'm completely out of time on this program. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us.